afternoon, guys. How are we all doing? I'm bringing you a review video today. I'm hoping the wind isn't going to affect us too much. It's been a right blustery wet day. I mean, look how wet it is. This weather is something else at the moment. I mean, this Christmas present was ideal really, because this is the Lemieux Storm winter coat. But I thought I would do a review video on it because this coat is in all the sales at the moment. I saw it on Nailers for £130. It did originally retail at £199. So I bought this coat earlier in the year from LeMieux, who has a kind of clearance page on eBay, and I got it for £90. So I did get it for a really good price. And so I thought I'd just give you a very quick review on it and how I found it. I feel like I've really tested this coat out already because every day I've worn it since Christmas, it has absolutely poured down and been blowing a hoolie. So I've given it a good test run already. I have lots of positives about this coat, but I also have some negatives. So if you are in the market for a new winter coat and you are considering the Lemieux Storm, you might want to watch this video first. So here are my positives and negatives about the Lemieux Storm coat. First up, let me go back and just show you what it looks in full. I'm afraid I've got to go right back. As you can see, it's a 3/4 length coat. Covers the bottom rather nicely, which I love. I love a coat that's got a bit more length to it because it stops the cold air from going up my back when I'm out riding all the time, which I really appreciate. The outer layer of this coat feels tough. It feels really strong. It feels really durable. It feels waterproof. It feels like a good quality coat should do. It doesn't feel like it's been badly made. Like, it feels tough. And it is definitely waterproof. I have hacked out for the last 3 days in it, got soaked every time out, and I've been bone dry under this coat. So big thumbs up for this coat because it does its job, it's waterproof. Next up, and this is probably my favourite thing of all of it, is these little hand warmer areas. Now, if you teach a lot, or you're out on the yard all day, these are a godsend. They are faux fur lined, and they're just the perfect place to rest your arms, rest your hands, and warm them back up again. So yeah, I really appreciate this in a coat. Like I say, quite often when I'm teaching, there's nothing better than being able to just rest my hands and warm them up in the coat. So you've got these fabulous big pockets. Look at the size of this pocket on this coat. Now, I love a big pocket. There's plenty of room for an iPhone in here, your Christmas chocolates, your keys, anything else you need to carry in your pockets. Nothing annoys me worse than coats that build these tiny little pockets in that you can barely get an iPhone in. These pockets are fantastic. They are a great size, and what's also good is actually there's literally another pocket underneath them as well. And then there's more pockets. On the inside of the coat, there's another pocket there. So good if you're carrying some money or something like that, you can put your money there. So yeah, I think we're good on pockets. Another thing I love is that it's got this lovely faux fur lining here. You know, when it's really cold and it's like blowing a hoolie and you want to like strap your chin under your coat to keep yourself warm. I appreciate that they've gone for the faux fur lining because otherwise it rubs your chin. I know, it's very sensitive of me, but that's a nice thing. Also, this faux fur lining, like I say, it's in the pockets. It's also on the back. So this part of the coat here, when you put it on, it's on there, which is really nice. Is that it has a two-way zip. So if I stand back, you can see that if I unzip it from the bottom, that opens the jacket up. So when I'm riding, it opens and I can sit comfortably. But really important, if you're going to ride in this jacket, it needs to be able to open up at the front. So it does its job. That's a tick in my books. And my last positive is the hood. Wait for this. Look at the size of this hood. Again, loving the faux lining, which you can remove if you wish. But you know what? Sometimes it's nice to have a really big hood to really protect your face in this horrible weather we've been having recently. Look at the size of it. It's perfect. Now, I take it off because I don't like riding in a hood, but it's a great hood if you are wanting a coat that's really going to protect you from the wind and rain. So here are my negatives. First up, this is quite a bulky coat. If I stand back, it's not the most flattering. Like, it's quite a heavy coat. It doesn't really pull you in anywhere particularly. Like, you can cinch it in around your waist area, but I've done that and it still hasn't given me much waist. So if you want a coat that's going to kind of flatter your figure, this is not the coat for you. Like, it looks quite bulky at the top end as well. Like, it fits me perfectly well. It's just not a flattering coat. But in the middle of winter, do we really care about that? Probably not. Next up is its weight. Now, this is a really well-made coat. Like, it feels like a tough winter coat. But my goodness, has it got some weight to it. Like, it's a heavy coat. When I first picked it up, I was like, blimey, this weighs a lot. And it's really noticeable when you're mucking out. I feel like I'm carrying a lot of extra weight when I'm mucking out just because of this coat. Now, even though I've taken the hood off of it, which did help because the hood's got some weight to it as well. I still don't enjoy mucking out in it. I just feel like it's an extra weight I don't need. Happy out hacking in it, it's perfect for that. Love teaching in it, don't mind that either. But I just think for mucking out, this coat is just too heavy. You might find you want to wear something else for that. Another thing I don't love about it is that as a 3/4 length jacket, it's just a little smidge too short, I think. If they had added maybe a couple of inches more, I think it would have been the perfect length. Now, I'm only comparing this to an Ariat coat that I had very similar to this, and that just had a little bit more length on it. And it just meant that it was kind of from my knee onwards that was getting wet. Whereas with this coat, I'd say at least half my thigh is getting wet. Now, I do have quite a long thigh. So maybe that's just the height length that I am, and that's why I find it's not perfect. For others, it may be the perfect length. But for me, it's just a smidge on the short side. Whatever this outer fabric is, which I like because it's tough, it's not great when it comes to dust and dirt from the horses. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this on my sleeve, but there's kind of like a whiteness to it. Now, that is dust and dirt from grooming the horses. As soon as that touches the coat, it sort of ingrains itself into it. And even after then getting wet out hacking, it doesn't go away. And I thought it might, and it doesn't. And it's just the way this fabric is, you're just going to look a bit messy and a bit dirty in it. Like, I've only worn it a couple of days and it already looks like it needs a wash. And with black, when it's with like the dust and the dirt coming off the horses, it really shows up on it. And I kind of know, you just don't look that smart. It really does show up the dirt. And that's a bit disappointing, I must say. And like I say, the grease and dust from the horses, that really ingrains itself into this material. So it's not even going to come off with like a quick wipe. And it's the kind of jacket you're not going to want to wash too many times because that's going to take the waterproofness away from it. So that's also, I would say, a bit of a letdown with it, is that, you know, any yard job, you're going to get a bit dirty. When you're bringing horses in and out, you're chucking rugs on and off. Like, you get covered in dust and dirt. So it's not great that this kind of coat hangs on to that. So the $1 million question is, would I buy this coat again? And my answer is probably no. There's lots that I love about it. I love all the pockets. I love that it's waterproof. Like, there are important things. But the length of it is a little bit of an issue for me. I'd like it to be longer. The weight of it is a big problem for me. I don't like the fact that I don't want to muck out in it because it's too heavy. And the fact that it really does hold on to like the dust and the dirt, it's a little bit of a shame because I don't want to look untidy and I don't want to have to wash it all the time. So there's just a few too many negatives for me on this coat. But I still think if you're buying it for sort of around the £100 mark, you are getting a good deal and you are getting a decent coat out of it. I just think there's a few niggly issues for me that makes me not love it as much as I kind of hoped I would. Anyway, I hope this helped if you are thinking of purchasing a winter coat anytime soon and you've been eyeing up the Lemieux Storm.